Hello everyone and welcome. So what is a string and what is string slicing? Well, very simply, a string is just a list of characters, and characters are just things you type in on your keyboard. So something like a letter or a number or punctuation. It really is that simple, and strings are designated by either a single, a double, or a triple quotation mark. For example, in the Python shell here, I can type in a word like hello and then hit return, and I'm returning the string that I just put in. Okay, so it's pretty simple so far. What's going on over here? This is just a visual representation of the index value for each character in the string. This is something Python does automatically. So when you create a string, each character in that string is basically assigned an integer starting at 0, which is always at the front of your string, and counting up until the end of your string. So let's see some examples of this. We can start with our string that we have over on the left here. And then at the end of this, we want to put in an open and closed bracket like this. And inside of this bracket, we can have any of these numbers that are the index value for something in our string. For example, let's try the number 2. Now, this won't return the second character, but it should return the third character since we started counting at 0. For another example, let's go ahead and try the very first character in the string, or just a 0. Well, this is great so far, but what if we want to have more than one character? What if we want a part of our string? So let's say we just want the word soy. We just have to pass it another number. So if we have our string here, we're going to start at the beginning of the string, and we're going to go all the way to 3, just like that. And so what's happening here is basically we start at the 0 index, and we go all the way to the 3 index. However, the number 3 is going to be the character B in the string. The first index value right here, this is inclusive. So this character will be included. The second one is exclusive. So 3 is not included. So basically we're going to return 0, 1, and 2, which should be the word soy. This is what's known as string slicing. And it's pretty useful. And I want to show you a different way to write the same thing that we just did. So if we do soybean like we had before, we open our bracket, we're going to leave the first option or argument blank, so we just go ahead and go straight to the 3 and close it, and we'll get the same result back. When you leave the first option blank, it assumes you want to start from the beginning of the string, and if you leave the second option blank, it assumes you want to go all the way to the end of the string. So we can actually return the entire string by leaving both of these blank. And then, of course, if we were to start at the value 3 and leave the second one blank, we get bean back. And remember, that's because the first value is inclusive and the second value is exclusive. So this time the 3 does give us this B character. Now that we've covered start and stop, there's also a third value called step size. So for example, we can start with our string here. And remember, we can leave the first 2 blank, and this is where the third one goes. So by default, it's always going to be 1, and that would basically just give us every character, so S, O, Y, and so on. If we put a 2 in here, it'll skip a character, so it'll only return every other one, like that. It's starting with the first character S, and then giving us back every second value since we entered a 2, so it skips the O, it goes to the Y, it skips the B, goes to the E, and so on until the end of the string. And then, of course, if we wanted to do every third value, we could just replace the 2 with a 3. Just like that. One last thing we haven't talked about yet is the use of negative numbers. So instead of having a 1, 2, or a 5 or whatever in the step place, what if we were to put a negative value in there? So we'll leave the other 2 blank as we were before, but what about a negative 1? Since these 2 values are blank and this is a negative 1, what we're basically saying is for the entire length of the string, let's start here and step by negative 1 instead of 1. So we'll actually loop back around here and go through the string this way. And so what we should get is a reverse string from the original. Overall, it's pretty simple and can be fairly useful. That's about it for now. Thanks for watching.